Praveen Khandelwal, National Secretary General at Confederation of All India Traders, joining in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Khandelwal. The core issue right now, that the trading community has been confronted with on the back of COVID-19. Could you highlight that for us?
Well, as it is in all other countries, COVID-19 has given a very negative impact on the trade and industry of India
Hmm.
to the extent that almost since last 50 days,
Hmm.
we have lost a retail trade to the tune of 7.5 lakh crores of rupees.
Okay.
Has resulted into a GST loss of about 1.15 lakh crores of rupees to Government of India and state governments. Since there are no business activities at all, so there is certainly an economic crisis in the country prevailing right at the moment. And uh, the second most important thing is that the most of the trade and industry were previously having migrant laborers, which have already migrated. Almost more than 80% of the labor has already been migrated to their native villages. So
Correct.
that's one another challenge. The third challenge is the financial crunch which the trading community is going to face post COVID. So definitely there are certain more challenges,
Hmm.
and I'm pretty sure that post COVID there will be entirely a new pattern of business in India, which will be mostly based on data security.
Okay. So you did mention the core issues that the trading community is being confronted with. The loss that you're mentioning right now that the industry retail sector has lost is humongous. Now, if this continues, do you think there is a possibility of collapse and wind up in terms of businesses that could happen in the next few months?
Well, I think the government of India is already says this better, and we are very hopeful that Indian government will handhold the trading community. Very shortly, an attractive economic stimulus will be given to the traders because government also feels that they are under great pressure. So if that stimulus is given, then the Indian traders will be in a position to meet the challenges and can make a strong comeback in the business.
Okay. So overall, if you have to talk about business, yes, in terms of the essential items, there is some kind of inflow that's happening. However, the capital outflow is continuously increasing. Whereas if you see in terms of non-essential traders, the inflow of the business is totally stopped and the capital outflow is continuously increasing. How are they managing this?
See, basically, this precise difference between the inflow and outflow is definitely creating a big problem
Hmm.
because when we are doing our business, so daily there is some kind of inflow, maybe small, maybe big, maybe large. But since last 50 days, there is totally no inflow, whereas the outflow in terms of home expenses, in terms of salary to laborers, and for other routine matters, outflow is certainly there. So if I say that average Indian trader is eating his own capital at this point of time when there is a great difference between inflow and outflow. So that is the real issue, which is creating a disbalance in the trade. And it is a point of worry for all the traders across country. And that is why I said that when post-COVID markets will open, there will certainly be a great financial crunch at the level of the traders of the country.
Right. So currently as well, I think as per the recommendation from the government, the traders, the retailers went out and paid salaries for the month of March already. What is the status with regards to April salaries and how are they looking to pay the May salaries as well?
Well, we have conveyed the government that even after having so much roadblocks and crunch of finances, the traders were able to provide salary for the month of March.
Hmm.
But beyond March, it is again beyond the capacity of the traders to pay salary to their workers, and we have requested government to either part 50% of the salary, or government should announce us that let us pay 30% of the salary to meet out the daily expenses of the workers. So now, when there is totally no inflow,
Hmm.
it's totally unimaginable as to how the traders will be able to give full salary. And April has gone, almost half of May has gone, and we perceive that the entire May month will go under lockdown. So then again, the salary of May month will also be a liability for the traders. So unless and until the government handled of it, it is almost difficult to pay the salaries to the workers.
Right. But Mr. Khandelwal, the issue over here is that majority of the industries that have been making their representation to the government is, and the most common thing that we've been hearing in terms of the representation is to bear the salaries of the employees to some extent. How viable is it going to be for the government to do that for all the industries across?
Frankly speaking, I think though we have also proposed, but we feel that perhaps it would be disastrous for the government
Hmm.
to bear the load of salary, because we all know India is always under a deficit budget. and
Absolutely.
and right at this point of time, corona was totally an unexpected pandemic. So because of corona, the entire budget exercise of the government
Hmm.
has crumbled. So at this point of time, as we are facing financial crisis, the
Hmm.
government is also facing a financial
Correct.
crisis.
Correct.
So therefore, um, giving a feel that government will take that burden, I think it is. I mean, it is more than what required. But certainly, government can bring out certain kind of incentives or certain other indirect benefits to the trade and industry, which can bear the brunt of the salary component. Government can give a relief in taxation, or like many other reliefs that government can give without having any financial implication. So I think those remedies is under the planning stage by the government.
Right. So something in the form of incentives, interest-free loans, or something is other recommendations. Do you think that could be viable for the government as well, and will help the retail sector and the traders?
Yeah, because we have suggested the government to ask the banks to provide us a corona financial loan
Hmm.
with a minimal rate of interest at 3% to the traders, and the first installment of that loan
Hmm.
should begin from January 2021, and there has to be almost 60 equal installments.
Hmm.
So if government can carve out these kind of things, then I'm sure that it will not put the government under financial obligation, whereas it will provide a window for the traders to cope up with the situation and can meet the challenges posed by COVID-19.
Right. Mr. Khandelwal, you mean the Federation has also written to Honorable Finance Minister, and clearly you've mentioned over there that salary to workers is supposed to be looked at. Mudra loans is something that needs some bit of amendment. The schemes by the RBI in terms of the trade receivable discounting system needs amendments, and the financial assistance from banks. Taking these into consideration, have you received any response from the ministry?
So far, not, but certainly I have been given to understand that the government is just examining the pros and cons of all these three issues what you have listed out, because the trade receivables policy there is a cap of minimum 300 crores of rupees annual turnover of the buyer, which is certainly not going to serve the purpose of the small trader for getting the bill discounted. So
Hmm.
what we have asked government to lower down the cap from 300 crore to 10 crore of rupees for a year, so that the traders can also get their bill discounted. That is point number one. And the other 2 points what you have listed out, we have already been given, and we have asked the government to increase the cap of mudra from 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs, and the lending should be done through non-banking finance companies and microfinance institutions, because it was the original plan of Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi when he announced the Mudra scheme, because of the simple reason that banks always bank upon Basel 2 and Basel 3 norms, which our traders cannot meet with. And whereas the NBFCs and MFIs, they are already lending to our sector, and they know how to pay the loan and how to recover the loan. And most important thing is that there is almost nil NPA in our sector. So if government brings NBFCs and MFIs, and banks should lend money to NBFCs and MFIs, so it will be a win-win situation for the bank, for the NBFCs, and for the traders. So I'm sure that government is looking into, and we are expecting any stimulus within a day or two. So certainly, I'm sure that this element will certainly exist in the economic stimulus.
Right. So tell me one thing, in terms of the economic stimulus, if it comes through, whatever comes through from the government as per their capabilities, how long do you think will it take for the retail community, for the trader community to see revival? From where do you see that revival point starting?
Well, there are two basic points. Number one is, uh, as a normal business procedure, we, the traders, supply goods on credit basis. So what we feel that credit chain will be able to pay back not before 60 days post COVID. When the lockdown is lifted, it will take minimum 60 days to pay back the credit. That is point number one. So till those 60 days, there has to be some kind of space for the traders to remain alive for the 60 days by meeting all financial obligations and having their business on an operational mode. And what we feel that at least till December 2020, the business may revive to the extent of almost 70%. So after it is only after March or April 2021, if a position improves, then we will be able to recover 100%. But it's a very long battle, and nobody knows how Corona will react. So everything is depending upon the reaction of Corona. But as of now, we feel that this could be the cycle up to March 2021.
Right. Apart from that, you'd also urge the government to allow retail shops to sell non-essential items, right? Anything that you've heard on that front?
I think when the government will announce whatever government decides for the lockdown fourth phase, then I'm sure that non-essentials will be allowed to operate, because of the other reason that government has allowed all manufacturing units to start manufacturing,
Right.
but they are not producing anything, because already they are having surplus stock, and
Absolutely.
when they will produce, the shops are closed. So manufacturing units are also not producing, and if we want the economy to grow, then we have to we have to keep alive the robust chain from end to end. That is from manufacturer to the last retailer, and that last retailer should go to consumer.
Right. And very lastly, one another question I want to ask you is that all industries have been facing issues with regards to where the migrant community goes, the daily wage earners. And the major issue, as we've been talking about, is that how will the salaries be paid? Now, do you think this community of society, this community of workers needs to be given importance now, wherein a fund, maybe a social impact fund, which is very similar to a provident fund, which normally employers have, needs to be created for this community as well from here on, wherein we don't foresee anything like this. We don't see the troubles where that fund could be actually be used for their welfare. In case of a natural calamity, again, it can be used for them. If there is, I mean, God forbid, if everything falls in place, then it can be used for them for insurance, or it can be given to their families at some point in time. Do you think a requirement of a social impact fund for the migrant community, for the daily wage earners, is a must? Because that's something no one's really looked at.
Well, creation of any fund at this point of time will certainly load the traders extra burden.
Hmm.
Because as I have already said, government is having a financial crisis. So what government will do, government will create a fund and will ask the traders to contribute to that fund.
Hmm.
So, but what you have said is also correct. And what we have proposed to the government, that there are about 91,000 crores of rupees lying in ESI, and about 60,000 crores of rupees lying in labor welfare fund under provident fund. So why
Hmm.
not government use that amount for the current scenario? And once we are stable, then government can create a fund, and when traders will also be in a position to contribute to that fund, let let government contribute something, and let traders contribute something, and we can rebuild that asset. So right at the moment when everybody is under great financial difficulty, so there is no point in loading the traders with extra burden. So it will be advisable that whatever fund is available in both these accounts
Hmm.
may be used for the purpose of giving salary to the laborers.
Absolutely. The funds need to be dipped into as well. And I think the pool needs to be rebuilt over time. And then probably a social impact fund for this migrant community, for these daily wage earners, is something which needs to be created as well. So no industry actually goes ahead and bears the burden. But thank you, Mr. Khandelwal. Thank you for your thoughts. And, it was an interesting conversation, great insights that we picked up. We will see you soon as well once things open up, to understand what difference has it made, what is the kind of economic stimulus package the government has come out with as well. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining on Nirmal. Thank you.